Mail order bride meets a stranger, and the mystery of her missing groom. Lina stepped off the dusty bus into the sweeping quiet of Willow Creek, clutching the single suitcase that held everything she owned. She had crossed an ocean and half a nation to begin a new life, one she hoped would be steadier, kinder, and warmer than the one she had left behind. The only thing missing now was her groom. He was supposed to be waiting by the old station bench, wearing a blue flannel shirt and holding a sign with her name. Instead, the station was empty except for a lanky man in a worn jacket leaning against a pickup truck as if he'd been waiting for someone else entirely. But then he looked up. Directly at her. "Lina?" he asked. Her heart dropped. "You're not Daniel." The man straightened, surprise flickering across his face. "No, ma'am. I'm Tom." He hesitated. Daniel's brother. A cold ripple of panic slid through her chest. "Where is he?" Tom removed his hat, running a hand through his wind-tossed hair. "That's the thing," he said softly. "He's gone missing." The world tilted. Lina had expected nerves, awkward introductions, maybe even regret. But not this. Not a vanishing groom. Tom lifted her suitcase before she could object. "You came a long way," he said gently. "Let me take you somewhere warm. We'll talk." She followed him because she had no other choice. Tom's farmhouse sat at the edge of rolling golden fields, quiet except for the gentle rush of evening wind. He brewed tea, placed a steaming mug in her hands, and sat across from her like he didn't quite know where to start. "Daniel isn't a bad man," Tom began. "Just lost. Ever since our parents passed, he's struggled. I thought bringing someone into his life, someone kind, might help him find his footing. But a week ago, he packed a bag and left a note saying he needed time. Didn't even say where he was going." Lina tightened her hands around the cup. She had imagined a marriage built on hope, not rescuing a stranger from heartbreak. She should have been angry. Hurt. But instead, she felt an unexpected ache, for Tom's worry, for a man she'd never met, for a dream slipping through her fingers. "I'm so sorry," Tom said, voice low. "If you'd like, I can help arrange a ticket home." Something inside her bristled. "No," she said. "Not yet. I came here to build a life. Running now won't help either of us." Tom blinked, surprised. And then his shoulders eased, just a little. "You're stronger than most folks I know." Days passed, and the awkwardness between them softened into a gentle rhythm. Lina helped around the farm, feeding chickens, chopping vegetables, patching old curtains. Tom, who rarely smiled, began to offer small, quiet grins that warmed the kitchen even on cold mornings. They talked, too, not about romance, but about loss, fear, and the courage it took to begin again. Tom learned about Lina's childhood in a small coastal town, about her dream of becoming a nurse. Lina learned how he worked 2 jobs to keep the farm afloat, how he always put others first, even when it left him with little for himself. Still, every night, she lay awake wondering, where was Daniel? Was he safe? Did he know someone had crossed a world to meet him? One morning, Tom appeared at the doorway, breathless. "I think I found him," he said. Got word someone matching his description was seen up near Ridge Hollow. His worry spilled out in a rush. "I'm going to look. You should stay here. Please." Lina shook her head firmly. "No. You shouldn't go alone." Ridge Hollow was a stretch of rugged forest, quiet except for distant bird calls. They found Daniel sitting on a boulder overlooking the valley, the wind tugging at his clothes as if trying to carry him away. He looked tired. But not surprised to see them. As though he had been waiting for someone to notice he was missing. Tom went to him first. "Why, Daniel? She came all this way." Daniel didn't lift his gaze. "That's why I left," he said, voice small. "She deserves better. I'm not the man she thinks she agreed to marry. I'm not even sure who I am anymore." Lina stepped forward slowly. "You don't know me," she said gently. "And I don't know you. But running from people doesn't protect them. It only leaves them hurting." His eyes filled. I didn't want to disappoint you. You didn't disappoint me, Lina replied. Life does that on its own. What matters is what we do next. Silence wrapped around them, fragile but healing. Then something unexpected happened, not dramatic, not grand, but deeply human. Tom sat beside his brother, placing a hand on his back. Lina sat on Daniel's other side. They formed a quiet circle of shared warmth, no judgments, only presence. It wasn't a romantic moment. It was something more important, an act of kindness to a soul who had forgotten his worth. Daniel finally exhaled, shoulders shaking. I want to come home, he whispered. Tom squeezed his shoulder. Then come home. In the days that followed, the farmhouse filled with new energy, slow, uncertain, but hopeful. Daniel began helping around the property, rediscovering pieces of himself one small task at a time. And as he healed, he came to understand something. Lina's journey hadn't been about saving him, it had been about finding belonging. One evening, as the three of them shared apple pie on the porch, Daniel turned to her. I can't promise I'm ready for marriage, he said softly. But I'd be honored to start as your friend. Lina smiled. Friends is a beautiful place to begin. Tom glanced at her then, something warm flickering in his eyes, but he said nothing. He didn't need to. For the first time since arriving, Lina felt the quiet, steady thrum of home. Months later, Lina would look back on the moment she stepped off that bus and realize something extraordinary. Sometimes the life we think we're searching for is only the doorway to the one we're truly meant to find. And sometimes, the greatest mystery isn't a missing groom. It's how compassion, shared freely, can turn strangers into family and fear into hope. In the heart of Willow Creek, that hope blossomed softly, steadily, beautifully, reminding them all that the smallest acts of kindness can change the shape of a life. Forever.